What?
I hear voices.
Yeah. What is it? If you talk to God, that means you're praying. But if you hear God talk to you, that means you're schizophrenic.
I mean, that seems like pretty solid. I can't really, argue with that logic.
You can talk to God and not be crazy, but if he talks to you, you're crazy.
Or just ahead of your time.
Mm-hmm. I remember having
the world wasn't ready for you.
I remember having an early bit about secretly thinking that our law system is not really into God. You know, like we put up the formalities of swearing on the Bible and stuff like that.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
But if you swore on the Bible and they said do you swear to tell the truth, blah 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 blah, and you go, "Yep." And then the next statement when they asked you so how come you killed that person the other night?
Not did you kill them? Why'd you kill? Just try and, pose that question, see if they slip up. That's how you get them. That's how I lawyer.
On the night of
if you're a good
November.
If you're a good lawyer, if I've learned anything from Law and Order, you would say, leading the witness, really quickly and angrily.
Objection. Yeah, overall.
Objection.
Yep.
Leading the witness.
Yeah. So, why did you kill that person?
Objection. Where's this line of questioning going?
Right.
I'm D.A. Barba. I talk really quickly to show that I'm good at my job.
But if they, at any time, said that the reason why they did their crime was because God told them to do it, they would automatically be like, Judge, this man is clearly crazy. He's obviously insane.
We're going to lock him away. He doesn't get to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to a mental hospital jail.
God could never tell somebody to do something bad, like kill his children or whatever. But he could tell you, go build a homeless shelter. That's fine. That type of crazy is fine.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure God has told people to go kill their children.
And build homeless shelters.
Yeah, both. Both of those things were in the Bible.
Right. But
one was the Gospel of Luke. The other was the Gospel of Mr. Gates. Unreleased.
It was, you mean Mr. Bates. Norman Bates.
Yes.
Yep.
From American Psycho.
Or just Psycho.
Edit all of this out. I'm so ashamed of who I am as a person.
It's okay. There's so many different references going through our brain at all times. It's so hard to be on the pulse of pop culture at every given moment.
That's the beauty of close friends. I made a reference that was 2 or 3 layers deep.
An Inception reference.
Yeah, about this podcast to my ex-boyfriend when I was starting it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name, but I was like, oh, we're starting Sex and the City podcast. That's about it. And then we started riffing on that, and he was just like, well, my favorite character, is not really even the show without the city being a character. That's who I am. And I was like, yeah, no, you got it. The city is the 5th character.
Yes.
One might even say the city is, and I don't remember his name, but the lighting artist for the band Fish. Whereas he's that of the TV show.
You didn't know the lighting artist's name of Fish?
I couldn't remember it, so I looked it up. Thank you very much. But
okay.
That is a callback to the podcast Analyze Fish with Harris Whittles, where he continually brings that up nonstop about how they call him the 5th member of the band and how they wouldn't be anywhere without him. And then so it was that in reference to a reference about Sex in the City, which was referenced from my podcast, which is about Sex in the City.
Pretty deep cut.
I was pretty proud.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be proud of the things I'm proud of. This is like that Tupac's liqueur.
Yes,
thing.
I like that.
I look at it and I'm like, this is the funniest I've ever been. And people are like, yeah, to you and one other person. Everyone else is kind of like, okay.
Right.
Get over it.
Yeah, that was kind of a B- pun. I get it.
That was an A+ pun. Thank you very much.
Yeah, everybody's so, not thrilled about the small things in life. The little things that make us laugh. They're always looking for these huge, uproarious belly chuckles.
Hey, isn't it crazy how in life, this universal truth, all women, sometimes jump. How crazy is that?
Whoa.
White men can't jump, am I right? Oh, we're all going to die someday.
Women can't jump either, right?
Yeah, WNBA.
Yeah. I feel like have you done Sex and the City bits yet? Now that we've done the podcast for a little bit.
No, but fun fact, actually, and I forgot to mention this, but I have another person who we have to have on the podcast because I said I'd book him for it because saw him at a show, never talked to him before, and he had a Sex and the City joke about Sex and the
nice,
right? And I literally, I was like, I should have you on my podcast. He's like, yeah. Then he Facebook messaged me like a couple weeks later.
Dude?
Let's find out.
I
don't remember. Yeah, I don't know him. I just heard that joke. And I was like, oh my God, you know about Sex in the City? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, be on my podcast.
That's awesome.
Like, and then he actually followed up on it. So I was like, oh, fuck.
Hell yeah.
Have
So
to
you think he's
now.
down? He's DTF?
Oh, he's absolute. Like, he wants it. Like, he is thirsty for the themed drinks we have on our Sex in the City podcast. Like,
you don't think he's into you?
No.
Like, personally?
I don't think he knows me. So, but I do know that he knows Sex in the City. It's Russell Ells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No,
we could definitely have him on.
Right? No,
he's
we
a great
gotta
guy.
shove him in. His message was, hey, you mentioned your podcast to me last week at Hennessy's. Let me know if you really want me on. I'd love to.
Yeah.
That's someone who's
definitely have him on.
excited to be on our podcast.
He's a good guy. He runs also the bar at Harp.
Oh, shit.
He's
I didn't...
the
Wait, is he the
bartender.
bartender? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck. Holy shit. I've, like... people know him, and I know that he, like, does stand-up, but
he's a
I've,
funny
like,
guy.
never talked to him before.
He's had, like, the last 3 opponents of Roast Battle, like, bail on him. Like, he keeps getting bailed on.
That's brutal.
Anyway, so you don't have any bits about Sex and the City?
No, none.
What? I have this new bit that I've been kind of working out. It's not really a bit. It's more of a one-liner.
I feel like doing Sex in the City bits for 3 to 4 hours a week is enough.
Right, yeah.
And writing jokes for it, and failed radio play type scripts to read on the episodes.
Yeah.
And Valentine's Day cards, some of which we'll get to, and the rest is like, well, next time.
Next year.
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Yeah, we do put a lot of effort into that show. This guy is, we might be calling this the behind the scenes of Sex and the City podcast, or what I should say, you're such a Sex and the City podcast.
No, you're such a Sex and the City podcast.
No, you are. But that's...
Shut up.
This is actually This Comics Life, but I am having April back on as a guest.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm back for the 3rd time. And you know what, Daryl? You remember that I was on This Comics Life twice.
Yeah.
Because I loved it the first time,
I know.
so I did it again. And I love that so much that we started our own podcast together.
I felt like, we had chemistry from day one.
Absolutely.
Not that, like, fuck chemistry, but it was like, hey, we kind of don't hate each other and like talking to one another about girly things.
You're the Carrie to my Miranda.
Yeah. I feel like you definitely
A little bit
need
more
those.
vapid and shallow, but also I'm a wreck.
Right.
So,
You are definitely a little, hard around the edges.
yep. I had a man follow me to your apartment today. It was a man in all camo.
Nice.
Told me his name is Yahtzee. So, who knows?
That's what he says before he rapes you is Yahtzee.
All 5s, no 9s or 1s in that rule.
Right?
Stand-up comedy, open mics, interviews, and a podcast too. It's just a day in the life for Daryl Williams. Just a day in the life. Whose wife? This Comics Life.
Hello and welcome to This Comics Life. This is me, your host, D. Williams, a.k.a. Daryl Williams, a.k.a. Dumbass, a.k.a. Dude that's hanging out with my co-host on another podcast, but not this one. It is the one and only April Lotshaw.
Hello, I am the host of another podcast, the producer of another product. I hate myself for this introduction. How are you doing, Daryl?
Good. So
Fabulous.
we figured, obviously you don't get enough of us on You're Such a Sex and the City podcast. I figured I would get April on This Comic's Life again to just show her range, her comedic and
bring me back into
brilliant
the
range.
spotlight, baby. I'm ready for my debut.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough of talking to my dad. I couldn't get enough of talking to all the other people that I don't talk to enough in my life that she
Your
needs to show me.
Yourself, because you are your younger sibling.
Yes. I do also like to talk to, just random people from time to time.
True. Motivational speakers. Mm-hmm. Just all subsections of life. People with GoFundMes.
Yeah.
To explore the country by renting a car.
Do you
or
like
motorcycle.
improvisation?
Improvising?
Yeah, that too. Do you
Yes.
like all those three?
Yes, but like varying levels. Big fan of improving. Not about improvising.
Mm-hmm. What about improving?
No, not into it.
You
no,
don't like
no.
improving at all.
I've built my career around avoiding that.
Do you always feel like, you're not far enough, where you want to be?
No, I'm exactly where I want to be, Daryl.
Right here in my
I
apartment.
love renting a room,
Yeah.
which I will be kicked out of in a week or two, not knowing where I'll live next. This is ideal.
Well, you can always live here if you need to.
This is creativity at its peak. Is strife, change.
Yeah.
My God. You think Bukowski got famous by not being an alcoholic? No. That's not how it works these days.
I feel like change definitely helps a lot of people, but unexpected change is kind of different than the change that you bring on yourself.
Where you're like, wow, I have a plan and this will make my life better, as opposed to like, oh, a thing happened and I am dealing with the consequences of it and I'm not dealing with it well.
Like a death of a breakup probably feels a lot different.
Death of a breakup?
Yeah, the death of a breakup.
When you get back together after the breakup,
Yeah.
like the breakup dies.
Yeah, the breakup dies.
And you're like, you were the one. That is very different than what you were about to say.
That's what I call a comeback, is a death of a breakup.
Lots of rom-coms have deaths of breakups, but do we ever talk about it?
No. They
Society.
How
Politicians.
often, do relationships come back?
All the time. That's how you get in a relationship, is you have one. That's the pre-relationship. Break up, come back together in an airport or wedding. Mm-hmm. They're getting married to someone else. You stop the wedding.
Oh, right. That's
like
always
Spider-Man.
a big... Yeah, you have to stop the wedding. I've always felt like I could stop a wedding.
How would you stop a wedding if you needed to?
How?
Like, they're not for love, but for like, there's a bomb that's going to go off at this wedding. It's like Speed. If the wedding reaches its end, if it reaches max speed towards them being married.
If they kiss, everybody's
blown
blown
kiss,
up.
Everybody's blown up. What are you going to do?
I will have to jump. I would definitely run and prevent them from getting kissed, I guess. Do that slow motion where as they were about to kiss, I would like go...
Jump in the middle.
And I'd put my hand in the middle of their faces. And
no, you would leap.
Yeah,
and
I would have
one
to leap.
breast would be kissed by one of them, and one, like, back mole would be kissed by the other.
Some back
But
hair,
you would
yes.
prevent... Yes, it's a hairy mole.
Right. Because obviously I would be topless, too, at this point in the movie.
Oh, your clothing would be so torn up from your journey
I'm like
here.
in a banana hammock.
Yeah, that it's a strange movie.
Yeah.
But you know
We're
what?
at the climax of the movie.
The gritty reboot of Speed.
Yeah, called Speed Hammock.
Speedo.
Yeah, Speedo. Oh, I like that better.
No, I like Speed Hammock. Speed Hammock. That was so easy, and I love that you went for hammock.
Speedo. I like that better, though. Okay.
Speed Hammock.
We'd have to get an endorsement because that's a brand name, so,
Speedo? Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. No, you could have a range of films to do with Speedo. Fast in the Speedo
What if
2?
instead of she kisses the nipple, she just... One kisses the front of the Speedo, and the other kisses the back of the Speedo.
That's in the bloopers reel.
Okay.
That's like you had to do that take like 30 times to get it.
And you're on like a strings and gimbal. And
Yeah, no, it's because it's directed by Roman Polanski.
Right.
So
I was gonna say John Woo.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's kind of like artsy.
Collaboration between the two.
Whoa.
So
Nice.
a lot of takes, a lot of artistic insanity, and
Nice.
strong influence of classic kung fu.
I love it.
I love it too. No, it's one of my favorite movies. Is Speed Hammock or Speedo?
AKA Speedo. Yeah, if they get the endorsement, if they, if
Well, hey,
Speedo signs on.
Hey, I mean, yeah, corporate Speedo keeping down artwork.
Yeah.
This
No, I think they'd be on board because we're not like writing them in a negative light. It's not like we're going like, Speedo, so stupid. No, it's like we're having this character in a Speedo
and he's
practically the whole movie.
He's saving a church full of people, including 2 people who we know for a fact are in love and want to be married, from exploding.
Right. They just don't know
because the wedding can't reach 40 miles per hour.
Nope.
They can't do it or it'll blow up.
It has to be very slow wedding. A very slow wedding.
They can never reach the end so that the wedding stops or else it'll explode.
No, like that's what I'm saying. Like the kiss is the last part of the move. The ceremony.
Hey, you're doing a service to the world.
Yeah, I like it.
I think we've created something very beautiful there.
Do you always think about like certain movies that haven't been made?
Non-stop. That's the
you
only
ever thought
thing
about
I
making
think
a
about.
movie, like writing your own screenplay?
Non-stop.
Yeah.
That's all I think about.
I think we could write a screenplay. It could work.
Okay. Do you want to hear some of my pitch ideas I have?
Yes, I do.
Okay. First one, these are all actual things that I've thought about at different points in my life and my sobriety.
Yeah.
First one is there's that there's the good girl and there's the bad girl. Everyone has their good side, their bad side.
Mm-hmm.
This movie idea, there's a chick. Some supernatural stupid shit happens.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like Misfits, the British TV series. She gets split up into like the good functional one who's also neurotic and kind of like hates herself and shit. And like the bad girl who's like free but like also unreliable. All that shit.
Right. So
man is in love with her.
It's like a twin situation or
Yes.
a split personality or two different actual beings.
So, yes, exactly. The same person gets split into 2 people or the 2 aspects of their personalities.
Right, I get it.
Man is dating both of them. They're all in love. He's dating both of them, and he loves the freedom of like the crazy chick. He's like, let's just steal a motorcycle. And he's like, oh my god. But then he ends up in jail. And she's like, I don't know. And she's not helpful. And then there's the nice girl who like shows up on time and like has heartfelt gifts. Because she's like, well, I thought of it and I knew it'd be good for you. But also, she's a real fucking stickler. And she like is neurotic.
She doesn't like anal.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the deal breaker.
Yeah.
But anyhow, no. So those things.
Does he think he's just dating one girl, or does
he thinks he's dating 2 different girls, and they know they're one girl, and they're trying to steal him for themselves. And then the end of the film is that they just decide to all be in a polyamorous relationship together.
I like that.
They're just happy. They're just like, fuck it. We'll just
How
all
did
fuck
they
each other.
split?
Like,
what's the magic there?
Like magic or an Indian graveyard or some shit like that.
Lightning bolt.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, at all.
Got it.
Harry Potter did it. Harry Potter split them into 2 people.
That's right.
And we're going to tie it into that franchise.
There was a bad boy Harry Potter, and there was the good boy.
No, there's regular Harry Potter. He didn't do it to himself. He did it to our protagonist, the woman.
I did not notice. I haven't watched all the Harry Potters.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next pitch?
Next pitch. Okay. There's a genetically altered shark.
Yeah.
But in this film, not only does LL Cool J play the cook, he plays every character. And they rap every line. But not like he's LL Cool J in every character, but like he plays the different characters. So like the chick, he wears a dress and plays a chick to be the chick character.
Right.
Like the hero dude.
Like Clumps? Like Eddie Murphy? Like
yes.
Okay.
But with LL Cool J.
Right, totally.
He also plays the sharks. That's that entire pitch. It's Deep Blue Sea, but LL Cool J plays every character.
I like that.
The sharks are more of a Shrek type thing where he voices them and they're animated.
Right. like that.
Same end rap.
I also like, that it's a rap opera with sharks.
Ropera.
Yeah.
Shark ropera.
A shark opera with LL Cool J playing every part. That I've never heard that pitch before.
That's what's gonna blow them out of the
know,
water.
Like, literally, that's the tagline of the movie.
I know it is.
Everybody's getting blown out of the water.
So as you can see, I'm just a melting pot of original, dynamic ideas for the modern generation.
You know, I feel like LL Cool J, before he even reads the script, would be on board. If you just told him you're every part, bro, you're just everything.
You can also be a producer.
Mm-hmm. You're getting paid for every role that you're in.
Oh, of course, he's LL Cool J.
Yeah.
He'll be artistic director as well.
That's awesome. I love LL. He's been in some really good movies.
You love Ladies Love Cool J?
Yeah.
Me
Cool
too.
James. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite LL Cool J song or movie?
Clearly, the end rap of Deep Blue Sea / film Deep Blue Sea.
He does an end rap?
You don't know that?
No,
he does one. I forget what it's called exactly, but he raps from the point of view of the shark.
Nice.
It's the genetically altered shark. It's really confusing.
That's
but,
awesome.
Man, is it fun.
I love how you have such an extensive knowledge of all end raps from movies.
I do. I love how I
If
have
there's an
such...
end rap, you probably are like aware of it.
Okay, Daryl, I'd just like to throw out there, I feel like maybe I know more about rap than you do.
Of course you do.
Is that how you feel also?
I do.
Really? How much do you know about rap?
I know quite a bit. I'm not saying like I don't know anything.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not saying I listen to it extensively and just live by it. You know, like I just eat, breathe, and shit rap.
Well, like what rap artists do you like know and or like appreciate above the rest? You know?
I'm always into any type of like 90s rap. You know, anybody that was big in the early 2000s. You know,
You and
Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, Eminem, of course.
Of course.
But even like, Biggie Smalls and
Biggie Smalls.
Method Man and
Chris Ross?
Chris Ross.
Chris Ross.
Chris
my other
Ross,
favorite.
Yeah, Rick Ross, too.
Hey, no, his raps were insane. That dude murdered a lot of people.
And like even newer stuff, too, I guess. Like I like Drake and Kendrick Lamar and what's his face?
Kanye?
Nah.
You were playing Kanye when I arrived today.
Kanye's all right. I mean, I'm not saying like I hate it, but I wouldn't say like he's in my top like 20. But I also like just even stupid stuff, like really kitschy stuff like Vanilla Ice and T-Pain.
No, that is fun. It's like end raps. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. No, it's like when...
And Macklemore. I like all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Macklemore, but also because he's from Seattle. So I just like... He says
I thought
Seattle
he was
things.
British.
What's wrong with you? No, he's from Seattle. He's one of our pride and joys of our many musical legends.
Sweet.
It is. He's not the most prideful and joyful, but goddamn, do we love him anyways? Yeah,
there's just I don't know. I feel like I never go searching it, but when I have people like show me it and say like, "Hey, this song is cool," or they put it on their mix, or like I'm just around certain people that put it on.
I'm one of those.
I'll be
people.
like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm glad that I now know this is out there."
What'd you think of Run the Jewels? Because I made you listen to Run the Jewels. You didn't know
Run the Jewels is tight.
Killer Mike and LP, right?
It is definitely a very, unique way of, expressing yourself, and I'm into it. I wouldn't say I would, like, necessarily go looking for it.
You wouldn't
but, once it's out there, I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Even if some good ones die, fuck it, the Lord will sort them.
Yes.
In reference to police.
Yeah.
And murdering them.
I remember but
in front of cat sounds.
Were you a big Beastie Boys fan?
I like the Beastie Boys. I also kind of hate them. Mm-hmm. It's a guilty pleasure type thing. Yeah. But I love the Beastie Boys. I do. I just honestly I do.
Yeah, there's certain songs that were really cool. Other songs you're like, okay, that's just of the time.
Yep.
I think it was just like, oh yeah, I like that song in high school.
Okay,
that
pause this shit, because I need to pee so badly.
No, I'm glad he didn't do that, but that is a little weird. I mean, that's Long Beach, though.
That's
what you're gonna
that's
get.
life as a woman, though.
Yeah.
Always. Sometimes audiences will seize up, like you bring up, like, oh, I'm a woman, so I'm probably gonna get murdered or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like I noticed, like when I phrase it that way, sometimes audiences will kind of like clench up, kind of be like, ooh, because it's like they're remembering.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you're remembering that women have to be scared of like physical violence or abuse, but you know who really remembers that? 24 hours a day is women. You're not I'm joking about it, and you know what? This is what I do and think about 24 hours every day. That's what I do when I go to the supermarkets. I'm like, wow, that's a dark parking lot. I'm going to just be like on high alert forever. I don't sleep anymore.
I feel like I do the same thing, though. I kind of am always on guard. It's not like since
Are you
I'm a dude, I'm
usually-
always like, oh, I'm just safe in every manner.
But usually your primary fear is being raped.
Not
Yes?
necessarily raped, but definitely like assaulted or,
Yeah.
injured in some way.
Yeah, but you face that threat and the threat of rape.
Yes.
Then you do know what it's like to be a woman.
I do.
That's why we had to start that podcast together, was to reach out, be like, it's normal, it's okay.
Hey guys, the reason why we started a Sex and the City podcast is because I feel like I too have had the fear of being raped plenty of times. So I feel like this is my moment to just reach out and defend myself verbally.
And also be like, gentlemen, it's okay, you're still a man. If you get out of your car and you hold your car keys in your knuckles like Wolverine.
I've done that.
No, we've all done that. We've all done it. But not because you're like, maybe I'll get mugged, but because you're like, I don't want to lose my virtue.
My behind.
You're still a man. You're still a man.
It's true. I feel like I've definitely had some bits lately about me being a pussy.
You've always had those bits.
Yeah, not being a man.
I feel like I heard a comedian do that, or a version of it, and I was going to tell you. I was like, oh, your bit, it's different, but it reminds me of this other one. Like, you should watch that one. It's a famous comedian. I don't know who it
I feel like
anymore.
it is a premise that could be, like, stepped on.
Yeah, like, well,
for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's parallel thinking.
Mm-hmm. It's generic enough, but, like, where do you go from it? You know, where...
Exactly. But, like, sometimes I find when I have bits and they remind me of other people's bits, I do get that sort of the better side of that sometimes, where you go and you listen to the other person's bit and you hear what they said, and then you're like, okay, well, like, that's what they said, and it's great and it's funny, but, like, what do I have to say about it? Because
And is it enough?
we're on the same path, but, like, we're still different. And, like, if it just stays too similar, I'll throw it away. But also, what else do I think about it?
Speaking of which, the Brandon Kafori, he was just on the podcast. And
Oh, hell yeah.
we didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I remember him and I had a similar bit early on when we first started doing mics together. And, I did this bit about... you know how people say that you shouldn't shit and eat
Yeah.
in the same spot? And I was like, what are you talking about? It's great. Like, I eat ice cream on the toilet all the time.
I was just drinking wine on your toilet,
Yeah,
like, half an hour ago.
Like, what are you talking? Like, it's
It's
pretty much
awesome.
the best thing ever.
It's so convenient.
Yeah.
If I could live all my life while sitting on the toilet, I would. Like, put one in my car, make the
Yeah.
car seat a toilet, and I
I-
just go and sit there and just be pooping in traffic.
I eat the ice cream so it literally makes me look like I'm, like, having it go right through me.
Like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And then you get the x-ray vision for a minute, so you can see the ice cream going down your throat and into the stomach, and then you see it coming out, and then it's just pooping.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun for me.
It's fun for everyone.
But
We all
yeah,
want to see
so-
that, but like in ourselves, you know? Hold that mirror to reality that is actually just a cartoonist drawing your reality, because we were all children at one point.
Yes. But he came up to me afterwards and was like, hey, man, like I like that bit, but, I kind of do a bit about, something similar. Like, but the premise was, like, shitting and eating, It wasn't, like, the the same idea, but it was still like, oh, okay, well, and I'll be honest, I kind of stopped doing it for that reason.
I have thrown away a lot of bits for exactly that reason. It happens. And then it's
Not that it was bad, or I was like, oh, I can't do it, or
it's
I'm
exactly the same, or I stole it, or whatever. No, it's just that kind of, it's that thing where it's up to you at that point of like, do I have something to say that's different enough that it's like, it's its own thing, and I think it's worth my time and effort, or like, am I kind of like, oh, they kind of got like what I was thinking about with this premise.
Yeah. And not only that, but yeah, like I'm always kind of thinking like, in a weird way, not every premise, but not every topic, but certain topics I'm like, okay, that comic already hit it. I don't need to do it. Like, it's already out there. Like, how many different comics can talk about this in a different way?
That's real. And it's because that's entirely up to you at that point.
Right. And in a weird way, too, I'm almost thinking like, oh, if he got to that topic first, I'll just try to find something that nobody else is talking about. Like, oh, well, I'll just look towards something that isn't hit yet.
It's that whole, like, how many Trump jokes do you really need?
Right,
thing,
exactly.
Where, like, because it's just that thing where it just kept going on. And you're like, you know what?
And
it
it's
can
still
be
gonna
funny.
Be for another 2 years. I mean,
it can be funny. I can have a Trump joke that's fucking hilarious. And you know what? Before I even say it on stage, I'll be still sick of it because it's automatically hack.
Mm-hmm.
It's the low-hanging fruit.
Certain pop culture references feel like that hacky stuff. Any type of like political stuff, I always feel like it's kind of hacky, or it's just that's what it is. And I don't, in a weird way, it's like I went to college for political science, and at one small time I wanted to be a lawyer. And like, in a weird way, when I started doing comedy, I haven't done anything political. I don't do anything that has to do with
that's the thing, though.
Anything like that.
That's the thing, though, that comedy is. It is political, and it is defending points and saying all this shit. It's just the sugar coating on the pill. Mm-hmm. You take your medicine, but you don't realize it at the time.
Like, the only military joke I had was this idea of military time being stupid.
Speaking of the military, do you guys think that military time is confusing as fuck still? Like, I have no idea how to tell military time. And I'm a college graduate. Like, we are handing these people guns and then teaching them to tell math and tell time at the same time. Like, that's not going to happen with a lot of these soldiers. I'm sorry to say it. Most of our soldiers aren't the guys that are learning math, right? No. But why are we saying it? Like, was it confusing to people when we said meet at the rendezvous at midnight? Were people like, what the fuck does midnight mean? Is that like 11 or noon 30? No, we gotta come up with this, meet us at 2400 hours. And you're like, okay, first of all, what the hell is 2400? It's 2,400 hours. And why are we even calling it hours? Like, when I first started playing military time with, like, my friends in, like, elementary school, I was always, like, you know, playing guns and shit. And he's like, we're gonna kill Bin Laden at 0800 hours. I was like, what is that, July? Oh, you meant 8 a.m. Well, why don't you say fucking 8 a.m.? Because that's the thing with military, is that we have to be confusing, because that perpetuates our job. Like, oh, they're telling us this complicated military time. They must be very, you know, savvy and technical. I think they're just idiots that want to, like, fool us and make us confused.
And that worked out actually pretty decent. I don't do it a lot now, but I feel like there's so many things that I feel like I don't do. Like, I get in these waves where I'll, like...
What do you tend to focus on for, like, your jokes? Like, what are you, like, it's weird that I don't tell jokes about this. Or you're like, I keep going back to jokes about this.
I do feel like I tend to go towards dating a lot. Or, like, relationships.
Yeah.
Women. Ups and downs.
Is their skull a different shape?
Right.
Does it matter?
Could I fit their skin around my elbows like this? Or
should I call her? Should I follow her home and tell her my name is Yahtzee?
Yeah. Like, I have this new bit about the 3 times in my life that a woman has asked me, what do you want to do to me? And my answer has been horrible all 3 times.
What's the answer all 3 times? Just rapid fire. 1, 2, 3.
The first one was, I want to suck your titties.
Okay, number 2.
The second one was, I want to braid your hair.
Okay, cool. Number 3?
I want to make love to you.
Wow. I thought 1 was okay. 2?
Yeah.
I actually like, because, fun fact for nerds, Alec Baldwin's character on 30 Rock, that was one of his things, was he liked braiding women's hair after having sex with them, but also like he was the most manly of manly, but like he always wanted to braid their hair
I like
afterwards.
doing it too, but women don't want to hear that. When
No, yeah.
like ultimately, all three of them wanted to just hear like "let's fuck."
No, they did, and you just found weird ways of saying that where either it was too specific or you were like you gave off the impression that you're like, I guess I'll fuck you, but like really I'm all about cuddling and braiding your hair and making friendship bracelets afterwards and talking about what boys are the cutest in our class.
But also making each other come a lot.
I'll do that
yeah, like-
first, but like just because you want it, and then afterwards the real pleasure for me comes from braiding your hair.
The romance is definitely like, yeah, but like it's weird.
I feel like you need to find your dating element because like you are more of a romantic, it seems to me.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you appreciate those things, but especially with like dating apps today, stuff like that, where people are very like, they're looking for like their match, you know? So it's a lot of short, 1-2 dates with someone, and then they're kind of like, yeah, or they're like, nah. And it's a lot of, 1 or 2 dates, nah, no thanks, or whatever. And you seem like a long-term dude to me. Oh, more so.
I mean, I definitely don't want necessarily to always think long term, but I tend to definitely, date pretty monogamously and serial where it tends to go long term.
Well, because that's the thing, is it's not the intention to go long term, but I think what I'm trying to get at is you seem like you're very interested in the romance and the relationship part of a relationship as opposed to just like the sexual part, and also the like, oh, could I do better? I'm going to compare this person to other people I've dated, like rank them 1 to 10, oh.
Well, I think I might have even talked to you about it before, where I always
probably
felt like, even if you have like this great connection with this woman and you're having sex like every day for like a good hour, you're just doing everything. You're making each other come like 4 times, whatever. And it's amazing. Everything is great. Okay, outside of that hour, there's still those 23 hours in that day that you're going to have to do something else with her. That 23 hours should just be as good. It should be just as fun.
It should be okay. It should be maintaining
I'm not talking about like
your life.
Amazing every second of that day, but it should be like, I'm having just as good a time with you with our clothes on as well as without our clothes on.
Just that if you're in a relationship and you're gonna live with someone, like, you have to be able to live with them.
Yeah.
Which I think surprises people sometimes. But like, it's like, yeah, you know what? We all knew that dude was annoying as shit and really clingy and shitty, and we told you, and you're always like, I don't know, because, he was really romantic to you, and you had a ton of sex. Now you live together, and you hate it, and you want to leave the room all the time, and just go somewhere else.
It's weird, though, that, like,
it tricks you.
It's like I've always, like, had this idea of, like, yeah, I want to do a lot of, like, romantic things, these big grand gestures, like, show my affection, all this
right,
shit.
that's adorable though. It's there some of these are weird, it's too much, but like no, but that's the thing, is that I think a lot of the time from your bitching to me, it's like, you're not wrong, like you're right, the world is just shitty, but like you shouldn't lose faith in yourself.
It is weird how just a lot of things are wasted on the unwilling, the people that are just not into it.
That's what Yahtzee told me. No, like that's it. I think rom-coms fuck everyone up too.
Of course.
Like for life, everyone's just, if you could have the most stable, beautiful home life, and if you grew up on rom-coms, you're gonna be the dysfunctional insanity type where you're like, I'm not in love if we're not arguing or having great sex at any given point in time.
Like, there's always been those moments where, a guy has been clumsy or stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's in the eyes of the female lead, it's like endearing, or somehow like, oh wow, look how cute he looks when he tripped into that fountain. That was so adorable because
It's like his flaws draw me closer to him because I see his vulnerability, but in a way it's beautiful because you know what? We're all human and we're all vulnerable, and there will be a scene of me being really clumsy and like spilling coffee on my shirt in front of my boss, and people will like me because of that. So,
right, and of course, like the subtext too is that no matter what, she's already into him because he's an architect to the stars or something.
because he's Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, and
Beginning, middle, and end.
and he designs houses for celebrities.
And he lives in one because he's a celebrity.
Of course, like-
Designed his own house. Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Multi-talented. Come be on our Sex and the City podcast. Mark Ruffalo.
He's actually Mark Ruffalo as Mark Ruffalo, who
No.
stopped acting to become a huge designer architect.
No, this is his biopic.
Yeah, this is his second life. He's like,
He's-
you know what? I'm over movies. I'm gonna now become an architect, like I wanted to all this time.
That's going to be his Oscar film. It's the first documentary he does.
Right.
Directs, produces, writes, and stars in.
Yeah,
Can you write a documentary?
I think
Doesn't
you can.
matter. You can edit it. He edits and
Yeah,
stars in.
yeah. I mean, the voiceover has to read something.
Let's hear that. Let's hear that Oscar acceptance speech for
From
Mark
Ruffalo?
Ruffalo's "You Ruffle Me Low."
I want to thank everybody at United Artists. I also want to thank my lovely wife. She told me it was a stupid idea to call it "You Ruffle My Low," but I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway, babe. Look at me now. I also want to thank my lovely side piece. It's also awkward to bring this up, but she liked that I called it "You Ruffle My Low." I'm actually saying that I should probably divorce you, bitch. It's side piece now. Yeah! Woo! Also, make sure you save the trees.
Mark Ruffalo, everyone, give it up, Mark Ruffalo.
The Ruffalo Buffalo. Call me that.
He's the Mark Buffalo. Mm-hmm. God,
I feel like there is definitely a lot of douchebaggery and led by him.
was there?
He's a pretty big douche when it comes to stars.
I don't really know anything about him except that he was the Incredible Hulk, but I liked Edward Norton better, so I'm kind of mad about it. That's
Right.
what I know about Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And he was a character in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
It's true. He does make good movies, but he is not that great of a guy outside of movies.
But I don't know him outside of movies, so I don't care. Do you hang out with Mark Ruffalo a lot? And
I
be like,
don't.
I don't like his personality from closely knowing him.
Well, I mean, there are certain personality traits that we're not willing to overlook when it comes to art. I don't think Kevin Spacey's going to be getting a lot of work coming
Bill
up.
Cosby?
No.
That career.
So, Mark Ruffalo, as long as
Yeah.
he doesn't, have a Me Too moment, he can be a big douche.
As long as he's not labeled a sexual predator or
Yes.
a rapist.
As long as he's not those, he can be the douchebag.
You can
still
murder
be that.
someone. You can murder someone,
You
but
can still
you
be
get
the
away
asshole
with it?
on set.
Yeah.
The prima donna, the guy that is asking for the only brown M&Ms and shit like that. You can be that guy. You just can't touch anybody.
Yes, because human beings are human beings and not M&Ms.
But I feel like
Except for Eminem.
you shouldn't be that douche, as well as not be that predator
Appreciate
either.
what I just said about Eminem.
Yeah. Man, that was hilarious.
God, I fucking hate you. Home that I live in to call my parents who love me and sometimes help me with the rent and then tell them what assholes they are for not supporting my dreams. And I just fucking drove. I didn't look. I just drove and I bumped. There were
You haven't looked back.
dents in my car afterwards. I don't know what I hit because I closed my eyes so that God wouldn't see me, but I hit something. And I think it was a nun and a baby.
Oh, shit. This is real?
Yeah. Yes, that's why I said don't record this. They can use it in court then.
They will definitely use it in court, especially when I put it on the podcast.
Please, I'm begging you, Daryl. I'm begging. Also, So I have this drug dealer, mainly deals me weed, sometimes a bit of Dayquil, just to like mellow the high.
You can't get that yourself. You have to get
Not anymore. I can't. After this next story, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Got this drug dealer, and you know what? Great dude. It's awesome. Went to his apartment to pick up some goods. Get quillin', if you know what I mean. Spend my day well. Went there. He went to the bathroom while I was there. Yes, because he trusts me, and I went to his fridge, and I had a bag. I don't know why I did this. I just started putting things in the bag. Like
From
I
his
paid
fridge?
him for the drug. Yeah, he'd notice if I stole the drugs, but I just started taking.
Just
I got
stole all
some
of his,
cheddar
like,
cheese.
Hot Pockets and...
Fridge, not freezer.
Oh, okay.
It's cheddar cheese. It was some dried apricots.
Some lettuce, some almond milk.
Don't tell me what I stole from my drug.
Okay, I didn't know. I was just guessing. I didn't...
No, it was cheese and it was apricots, and they were both organic because I can't afford that shit.
But the drug dealer can, of course.
Of course he can. He's living off my misery
Yeah.
of the common cold.
And he's marking you up for NyQuil.
Exactly.
For your quills.
Now let me tell you why I'm not allowed to buy Dayquil at
Yes,
the store
please
anymore
do.
is because I was at a CVS and I took a gun out and I threatened to shoot everyone in the store. So they don't let me in there anymore.
Right, well, I
That's
guess
that one.
I would, probably not let you in there either.
And I really don't know where you buy Dayquil other than CV. I
Nope.
really shouldn't say I can't buy Dayquil, just like I'm brand
I feel
loyal.
like you could buy it from online.
I'm brand loyal to CVS. But they will not allow me in the store anymore, so I hire
Well,
people.
what about a different CVS?
No, none of them.
The whole chain.
The whole chain. Technically the police.
It's like you got like a wanted poster, like in every CVS. It's like, don't let this girl buy any Dayquil or any type. Just don't let her in the store.
in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically, law enforcement is looking for me too. But the thing that
You're on
really
the lam.
bums me out is the CVS thing. Mm-hmm. That's the one I can't handle.
Yeah, you were really hoping you could get your cigarettes still at a decent price, as well as your feminine products.
All at the same place.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
CVS. 24 hours a day.
Don't you want to advertise CVS here?
We're there for you. Tell you what. Always.
Yes.
That was going back to the tampon pads thing.
What?
Because there's a type of pad called Always.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the brand name.
Yes.
Because you're fucking stupid.
I thought we were talking about Always before. Like you were.
When are we not? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Daryl, can I just tell you, I am having the worst period right now. Like my guts feel like they're in a blender and they're being mixed up and then they're shooting out of my vagina.
It must be this week because there's like 3 girl comics that I've hit up throughout this week at open mics. Just casually asking them like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And their first statement was, my ovaries are bleeding, or something to the effect of, there's blood coming out of my vagina right now, so
blood
fuck
coming
off.
out of my vagina. There's blood on my hands. It won't wash off. What
Yeah.
did I do? What did I do?
It's very quickly
Hand me the
like, I'm on
Dayquil.
my period, don't talk to me.
No, I'll still talk to you on my period, though. Because CVS has my back. And by CVS, I mean Sam, who I pay $15 to go and buy me things in the CVS and then bring them outside.
Or I almost want to think it's like, they don't say like, I don't want to talk to you, but it is a precursor. Like, hey, by the way, here's a warning. Here's a little disclaimer. Before I say anything further, I'm on my period.
I'm a little bit mean right now.
Yeah, I could say something very horrible at any moment, by the way.
Exactly. Daryl, I think, you know what? I worry about you here, living on your own. I think it's time for a little memory of you with your dad.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we could go back down memory lane for another heart-to-heart with my dad.
Tell me what happened. Tell me your last conversation you had with your dad over the phone. Just reconnecting.
I talked to him about my grandpa dying. So that was very cool.
Hello?
Hey, Dad, what's up?
Who is this?
It's me, your son, Daryl. How are you?
Donald?
No, it's Daryl. Your only son?
Daryl. I'm fine.
Yeah, is the receiver, or you got a good connection, or can you hear me?
No, I'm in the shed in the back. It's bad reception.
Okay, well,
What do you
turn off the leaf blower.
want?
I just wanted to talk to you, about the latest doings with our family. Grandpa just died,
Yeah, I know.
and you're not sad, or how do you feel about it?
Man keeps his emotions to himself, Daryl.
Really? Because I've kind of cried a lot about it. I mean, I feel like he was a really good guy.
I stand by what I said.
So you've just been running the leaf blower ever since then, or?
Yep.
Because
Been making some shelves.
when did you hear about it? Who told you?
Oh, I was there.
Oh, you knew exactly he died?
When he passed, I witnessed it.
And how come you didn't tell me about it? Because I heard about it a week ago.
That's more your mother's type of thing.
She didn't tell me for like a few days either.
I don't deal with all that woman stuff.
Like telling a person that their grandfathers died, that's woman stuff, Dad?
Periods or divorce talk or whatever. It's
Right.
just, I'm uncomfortable with it.
That's cool. So are you going to go to the funeral, or?
Well, yeah. Are you?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm going to be a pallbearer. I'm going to walk the coffin down the aisle and everything.
You bringing a date?
No, Dad. I mean,
Well, you can't get a date for your grandfather's funeral?
I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I haven't really asked any girls to many funerals before. I don't feel like that's like really like a good way to get to know a girl. And I mean, the last few funerals I went to, I had a girlfriend. So, now I don't, and I'm single. So I don't know if I can invite a girl to a funeral.
Son,
Yeah, Dad?
I know how scared you are of women. I'm just saying. Funeral. This is your chance. Get the pity. You get the pity first. They see you cry. They can't leave. You marry them.
Do you have any women in mind, Dad?
Why, yes, I do. You know that girl you went to high school with? Nancy Kudrow?
Yeah?
She's still working down at the local grocer's, Stansmart.
She works at Stansmart? That's awesome.
Yeah, Stansmart.
And you see her? She's talked about me?
Every time I'm buying groceries there. She says, "Oh, what's that son of yours, D'Artagnan, doing?" And I'm like, he's thinking about you, just like I am, all the time.
You don't correct her and say that it's actually Daryl? My son's name is Daryl?
Don't ruin a good thing for yourself.
Okay, so she thinks my name is D'Artagnan. That's cool, though. And then you talk me up and you say, hey, yeah, my son's really cool. And
Well, he's doing this. He's scared of speaking, so he gets up in front of crowds of people who jeer at him, because he's not good. He's not good at comedy. He's not good at what he does. And you can listen to a recording of that he releases every week. Oh, and he has this
Wow,
hot
Dad.
lesbian friend who he does another show about Sex in the City. I don't know why a lesbian would be interested in that. That's more of a homosexual man's show, from what I'm aware. I was from a different time. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. But like, one of them there has balls. That's all I'm saying. But you know what? He's a good kid.
It sounds like, Dad, you know a lot about me. It's awesome. That's like amazing that you know this much about me.
I overhear your mother talking about you. That's woman stuff. That's like folding laundry and
Podcasts are women's stuff.
that. I don't even know what that word is. You may as well makeup, jewelry, lip gloss, affair. Just I don't know what these things are. They're things your mother talks about. It's not important. I'm just here leaf blowing.
So, Dad, I think it'll be really cool to have that girl come with me to the funeral. You've sold me. I need that girl.
Nancy from Sam Smart?
Yep. I feel like you should give me her number so I can hit her up,
I
because
don't have her number, otherwise I would have already called it.
I will go to the Sam Smart then and go and talk to her about being my date.
Make sure you go to Sam Smart and not Sam Smart. People mix those up.
And they're right next to each other?
It's the smartphone store for the rich, bougie people in town that also sells groceries. And then the other is the grocery store in town for the real, like, homegrown oats type town folk born here that also sells electronics.
It's in the Smart
Sam's Smart
Yeah.
and Sam's Mart. Don't mix them up. You know Sam's Mart?
It's in the Mart district, right? The
Son, come home. We miss you. Your mother told me to tell you that. I don't listen to none of that woman stuff.
Well, you know what? After Grandpa's passed, I think I should. I think I should move back in with you guys.
I didn't say to come back to the specific house. I just meant the vicinity.
You don't want me to live in the garage or out back?
I want you to live. I want that for you. Isn't that enough? This was a good talk, son. I really got to get back to these leaves.
Yeah, you should, Dad. Good talking to you. I'll see you at the funeral.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dad. Oh my gosh.
It's like I was there. That memory was so vivid.
Yeah, like those times that I've talked to my dad, I will say it's not gone far off.
Did you ever make it to the Sam Smart?
I did not. No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Not even
I haven't
Sam
seen
Smart?
Nancy at all. She hasn't been there. I thought she was going to be there, but she wasn't.
Well, you didn't invite her.
I know. It's going to be horrible, but I'll have to soldier on without her. It's going to be fine. Maybe I'll just meet some single girl there. You know, a friend of my cousin or something. She
Make
just
sure
shows
it's
up.
not a cousin of your cousin, because
Right.
that's still your cousin.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
I'll make sure it's at least second removed.
Good boy. Good boy. Double
Yeah.
double check those
Yeah.
boxes.
I will make sure. We'll go on Ancestry first. We'll go on Ancestry.com, and then 2 weeks later, then we'll bone.
Good rule of thumb, really.
Yeah, I should do
It's
that
important.
with every girl, right? No matter who I meet, I should just be like, hey, we should make sure we're
America-
not sister and brother, right?
America is a melting pot. It's the great experiment. Sometimes experiments create terrible mistakes.
Yeah. I also heard in a weird podcast one time that incest isn't that bad. It's not as prevalent. Like, it doesn't, like, breed, like, people growing feet out of their foreheads and stuff. Or,
Are you arguing for incest right now?
Yes, I want to have sex with my sisters, very much so.
You have a very attractive twin sister, and I'm sure the twin thing is also a weird appeal. Or
Would
the
it be
opposite.
weird if I wanted to have sex with my stepsister?
It'd be weird, but like acceptable if Wes Anderson directed it.
Right. Because then it would be love. It'd be like...
No, it wouldn't just be sexual. It
No.
would be an important part of your life. As a child genius grown up.
It'd be like
to,
a forbidden love type of angle. Like, we can't be together because our parents are already together.
Because, well, at this point, they're not, because Mr. Tenenbaum has been estranged, but he's trying to come back under the guise of saying he has cancer.
So we're not only trying to bring our parents back together, but we're also trying to get together ourselves.
We're parent trapping them while thirst trapping each other.
Yeah, I like that angle. I like this movie, and I like that it's directed by Wes Anderson.
Me too. That's my favorite part.
Can I be played by, like, Jason Schwartzman?
You'd get...
Or Owen Wilson?
Ooh. See, I'm seeing more of a Luke Wilson for you.
And he shaves his head still?
Of the Wilson brothers.
he still, like, tries to look like me.
No. Yeah, it's gonna be like you, but Luke Wilson trying to look like you. So not at all like you.
Right. That's okay. I don't mind.
There
I
we
don't mind
go.
a creative choice of, hey, we're going to get somebody that looks way better than you.
And then call him you. But we'll do that thing with the end credits where we show actual video of you, and then
Yes.
people start vomiting and crying in the aisles.
They're like, whoa, what?
Like,
Yeah.
I hate this.
We're so glad that you made it Luke Wilson instead. Because if it was him, this would make absolutely no money at all.
Or sense. Who wants that as a romantic lead?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm
I
glad
love-
we're friends.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, like, I feel like if you didn't shit on me, I'd feel like something was up. Like, what is up with April? She's not telling me I'm a horrible person every single second.
No, because, like, that's... Sometimes I do worry that I'm too mean. And I do think I am too mean. But also...
I've had certain guests on the podcast pull me aside and go like, hey, is April, like, upset with you? Or was
Really?
was she really, like, pissed off when she left? And I was like, no, that's just April. She just, I think, just gets to a point where she just can't hang out with me anymore.
That's humanity, though. And also, you should know this about me by now. If I don't like a person, like, not even like if I'm indifferent to them, but like I don't like that person, I just don't speak to them. If I'm speaking, like, if I'm making horrible fun of you, that probably means that, like, we're friends, or I want to be friends, at least, because, like, I'm paying attention to you, and being mean is the only way that I know to show attention and therefore affection.
I feel like in the comedy scene, it is very much like that talking shit is that affection. You know, like, people are only going to, like, you know, say rude things to you if they actually, you know, feel comfortable around you, or actually want to be next to you.
If they're paying attention to you.
Yeah.
You know, like, if they don't like you, they can just stand in a slightly farther away group of comedians and talk about how jokes are hard, and I can't pay rent, and I'm sad dating.
And they'll genuinely, you know, they'll feel awkward if they were to ever make fun of you, because it would be like, oh, I'm really making fun of this dude. It's not like, oh, yeah, I don't mean it. I kind of mean it, but it's like in jest. It's not like an actual insult.
Right? The ones who you actually hate. That's like, some people do that, but for the most part, I think the ones where you're like, I really think this mean, horrible thing about you. It's more like you think that to yourself, and you're like, no, I've gone from being jovial and fun in my anger to just hatred in my anger, and so I'm just going to think this to myself and avoid that person.
Yeah, it sucks. I've never had that many thoughts about that many people, especially in a negative type of way, where it's like, I can't be around this person. I mean, I will say, like, I'm close with certain people and not close with others, but it's not like, oh, I can't talk to this person, and I just won't talk to them for very long. It'll just be like, okay, we'll see each other, have one or two exchanges of whatever, and that'll be it.
Yeah, we're not going to, like, stand and talk for 20 minutes or whatever.
But then there will be other people where it'll be like, no, we'll actually have a real conversation. It'll be just us hanging out for however long it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want to tell you about my life. It's like, I want to listen to your life. I want to be updated. Exactly, yeah.
And
I dig it.
It's like, I'm not saying like one's, like the one that isn't more intimate is wrong. I'm not saying like that person is a shithead. It's just we don't have as much in common, or we're not as close. It's like we're in a different
it's nothing,
atmosphere.
The majority of the time, it's nothing personal. It's just you only have so much time, basically, and like there are people who you connect with more easily than others.
Yeah, you can't.
Like, you sit and I tell you, Daryl, you're fat and you're dumb and I hate you. Your glasses are like a worse version of my glasses, and I hate myself, so I hate my glasses. Yours are still worse. The beard, you keep changing it. Why? What are you trying to do? Reinvent yourself?
Yeah.
Gay, closeted, hate
So true.
speech, stupid, alone until you die. Daryl, we're friends.
See, I'm the like so opposite of that type of dude. Like, where I'm not that natural to be like, oh, April, like this is all the shitty things about you. You know, it's like,
what are the shitty things about me? Tell me shitty things about me. I want to know. Like, force yourself to do it. Although you won't have to force yourself.
Yeah, I would say
just say things. It doesn't matter right now. We're podcasting. I'm 2 beers in. If I want to yell at you about it, I will, and it'll be fine.
I'll say flighty and
go fuck yourself. Keep going, though. I want to hear. I am shitty like that. I know that. I'm mad because it hits home.
A little manic.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
You know, you could be very happy 1 second and then very not happy another second.
It is absolutely true. Yeah, continue.
A little bipolar, yeah.
My mom is bipolar, so am I bipolar? I mean, I'm genetically, like, dispositioned towards it, so maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, a little mean, for sure.
Sometimes I'm so used to it that I'm just numb, but sometimes, like, I'll surprise myself. I'll be like,
those certain things that you're like, okay, I don't mind being called that, Or if she wants to, like, forget my name and stupid things like that, it's like, whatever.
Like, if it was your dad, it'd be different. That would be genuinely hurtful.
Yeah, that would be. But, no, I feel like sometimes, like, it's not necessarily to me, but I've seen you definitely, like, say things to other comics where I'm like, oh.
What are things that I've said that were, like, too far? Was it to Seth, my future roommate?
No.
No? What have I said?
I can't recall. I want to say, like, there was a few times, I don't know, like...
Make a lot of fun of Brandon Jetty, of Seth Woodward.
Definitely.
Of, who else do I just ridicule? Tony Gartley, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like being two-faced. That's the problem. And the people who I genuinely dislike force me to be two-faced.
It's
kind
true.
of.
I feel like it's weird. When I was younger, when I first started, like, smoking weed, I would run into people and automatically always think, like, oh, you smoke weed? I smoke weed? We're automatically so cool. Like, you must be
friends.
awesome. Like, yeah, we're automatically chums and cool. And if you're a girl, whoa. Then you're, like, double cool.
There's no way at all you could secretly but overtly be a bitch.
Right. You can't be crazy or, just looking to get smoked out all the time. But that's the thing. So, like, clearly after a while, you realize, like, oh, it's not like everybody's just automatically cool. You can just run into, dickheads that smoke weed,
That was I had a very am I cutting you off?
No, I was going to say, like, comedy's kind of the same way, where, like, when I first started comedy, I always was like, wow, you do comedy? You're automatically cool. But then it, like, after a while, it's like, not everybody's cool. Like, it's just, we do comedy.
yeah, I understand very much what you're talking. I had to, I think I've gone through a lot of learning experiences, which, like, and I'll bitch to you about this, about certain people who come off to me a certain way that just, like, I have a hard time dealing with, which is, like, because that's a thing that stuck out to me.
There's people
was, like,
that have a hard time with me.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, that's one of my, like, biggest things is knowing people who say one thing and do another, or kind of the people who are charming as shit and you come to realize that they're two-faced, and maybe they are being genuine when they're being nice and charming, but also they're still two-faced, and they're still you don't know when they're lying and when they're not, or what they mean and what they like, things like that. Like, you have to learn those the hard way, and because you have to have yourself
when they want to be your friend and when they don't, and what do you bring to their table?
Yeah, it's the fair weather friend, or the you're convenient right now, or whatever.
Yeah, the one way friends.
Yeah,
that's what I call them. Is that, like, they'll always go one way. They're not calling you up, but if you call them up and go, hey, I have a cabin in Big Bear, do you want to come? They'll be like, yeah.
And they'll be nice as shit and charming as hell and wonderful the whole time.
Yeah.
And then they won't return your calls for 2 months.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And,
that's real.
And when you get up there, they'll drink all your booze, but not chip in.
Yeah, that's a learning experience. That's that you have to be made a fool of a couple of times before you start to realize you're like, sometimes this is just, you really don't know, and it's just a hard part of life. And you have to figure that shit out for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had those moments. I remember when I first started working at Disneyland, I had a lot of people suddenly just tell me, like, just hit me out of the woodwork, and just suddenly were like, hey, what's going on? Like, you want to hang out sometime? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? We haven't, like, talked in, like, a year and a half. I don't know if, okay, I guess we could. And then, like, quickly, like, the next conversation is like, so I heard you work at Disneyland. You think we could get in for free sometime? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, you never wanted to hang out. You just want me to sign you in.
Yeah, I'm a connection to you.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, now it makes sense why I am now hearing from you.
Yeah,
in a year and a half.
That's extremely real. That's extremely real.
But it's always, like, around this veil of, like, hey, man, what's going on?
Remember me from before? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a while. Let's catch up. Let's hang. Let's buh.
And then it quickly goes into, hey, how can you help me? And you're like, oh, I get it.
Humanity is flawed. We're all part of a spectrum between black and white, but ain't none of us on the good side of it. We're all in that dirty, filthy middle. What's the last segment? What's
All right,
the dealio?
I've been doing this last segment for these last few episodes, and I kind of like it. So it's called Inside the Actors, or Inside the Comics Studio. Inside the Comics Studio.
I like that. That's a long name, but I like it.
Yep, and it's just some rapid fire questions that I have stolen from James Lipton, who has also had some questions stolen by Bernard Peebo.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so anyway.
Someone else committed the crime. It's okay for you to do it too.
Yeah, they're altered a little bit, but I like them anyway.
It's only wrong to do new crimes.
Yep.
Like stealing cryptocurrency.
Right. All right, I love it. All right, first question. If you could make a geometric shape, what would it be? And what would it be called?
Oh, I like that. If I could make a geometric shape?
Yeah, if you could make one up, or if
Yeah.
you just could, you could also just rename something that already exists.
It would be a square, but it would be a square that is visibly sad, like suffering from depression.
Like a
and-
sad square.
Yes, but like a clinically sad, like chemically imbalanced square, and I would name it Edges.
So if you said, hey, look at that edges over there,
Yeah, people
it'd
would
be a
look
sad square.
and they'd be like, "It's a square, but it seems sad."
I like it.
Me too.
Yeah. Edges would be cool. I mean, it would look sad, but it would be a cool shape nonetheless.
Well, that's part of what makes it an individual shape. It's not ideal, but it's our flaws that define us.
Right, I like it. Okay, next question. What is your favorite joke that never gets a laugh?
My current one, I talk about how I'm the beginning is a good joke where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be murdered because I am small and a woman, 135 pounds. I'm like, I look like I would be murdered for having sex in the woods on a camping trip premaritally or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the whole build up of the joke, which I love, but then it goes to I'm like, I look like I could fit on carry-on luggage. Like, my body would save my murderer the $50 check-in fee.
Right?
And the bit that
That doesn't
never
work?
works from it, no, that works, but the bit that doesn't work is my follow-up where I'm like, and that doesn't feel good for my self-esteem either, because that means that, like, I'm a starter victim. Like, I'm like, you can mess up on this one. This is not the girl you've been stalking for 10 years. You're, like, working your way up to it. Like, someone could murder me and just be testing the waters. Be
Right.
like, maybe I should try pottery again.
Maybe murdering isn't for me.
Exactly. Maybe serial killing isn't my thing. To me,
I
it's,
tried it and I didn't like it.
I don't know. It's
She didn't give me the thrill I needed.
Don't think I'll do it again. I don't know. Not as good as I thought. Like
Right.
skydiving or whatever.
You would have been a disappointment to the serial killers out there in this world.
Well, that's the thing. It's just that because of how easy it would be to serial kill me,
You're not enough of a
there's
challenge for them.
I feel like there's a 50% likelihood that someone would murder me and be like, it's just, maybe I'll just go back to college. I don't know. And I've not found, either it's not funny or just I have never been able to find a way to say it so that it is
Right.
to normal people. But,
Yeah, you just got to find that right crowd.
right?
I like it though. I think it's funny.
Right? I do too. Just no one agrees with me.
All right, next question. If hell exists, what do you want to hear Satan say to you?
I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this.
Awesome. I like that.
Exactly.
Okay, next question. What sexual position will you never try again? Or scenario?
Huh.
Because I had a guest, I think Patrick Butcher. He said that he'll never do it in a car again. So,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sex you'll never do again.
I feel like a car is a position in itself.
No, it is. But and this one I probably will do again because you don't really know till it's too late. But unreciprocated oral sex.
So you won't give a BJ unless you're getting it as well?
You don't have to go down on me, but I would like something. I'm not I'll blow you in a car and then you're just like, cool, peace out, and leave. That is...
Right. You want your piece too.
That's...
You want to get off in some way.
Why do you think I'm here? This is not... You're not paying me any money, so give me something else.
So there's no... Yeah, unreciprocated.
Yeah, unreciprocated oral sex.
I like that.
I hate it.
I mean, I like that you never want that.
Yeah, no. Good answer. Terrible reality.
Yeah. Okay, next question. What profession will you like to see abolished?
Like just gone?
Yeah, no more fill in the blank.
Animal wranglers on
No more-
TV sets.
Okay, no more animal wranglers.
Let them be free.
Just when it comes to having pets on TV shows and different types of just live animals on...
Wild animals, anything.
Just no more wrangling, though. We're just going to have them on the show.
They're allowed to negotiate their contracts like everyone else.
I get it. Treat animals like people.
Treat them better than people because they are.
Right. Oh, okay, I get it. So you're one of those types of people.
Single? Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
All right, next question. What celebrity would you like to be mistaken for?
Oh, that's a difficult... You know who I'd like to be mistaken for? Is, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Which should be difficult now because now he's dead. But
Yes.
actually, that's just someone whose career I really love and respect. And at certain
You want
points...
to look like him too, or?
At certain points in my life, I have. So, you know, it's best of all worlds.
Can you do a Philip Seymour Hoffman impression?
No.
Yeah, that would be kind of interesting to hear.
I don't know how you even... I'd have to quote one of his roles because he's
Yeah.
so... I could go very Truman Capote on you. I
What
could
about,
just
like...
start doing the light voice and make little witticisms like, man pulled his dick out and told me, sign this. And I said, I'm sorry, but I think I'd have to just initial it. Witticisms. Or
Right.
you could do like Boogie Nights, like, I'm gay, but also I'm a person. I'm going to cry
Right.
for a while.
idiot. I'm
Oh, no, I shot it. That.
Hey, you
is-
want to go see my car?
or you could do The Master, where he's just cult leadery.
Yes.
Quiz.
I'm going to tell you several questions. Answer them truthfully.
Do not blink. If you do, we start over.
Question 1. Have you ever thought about murdering an animal?
No.
Question 2. Do you fantasize about murdering animals?
Yes.
Question 3. If question 2 is false, but question 1 is true, is there a difference?
Yes.
Question 4. Was question 3 a trick?
Yes.
You blinked. We're starting again.
Oh no.
No, that was totally a scene from The Master.
That I'm amazed you had that audio clip
I know.
on hand.
I did.
Let's skip to that other scene from The Master since you have it so handy. Okay?
Okay.
How do you make this drink?
Well, you put a little sherry in this tumbler. Then you put a little vermouth in it. Shake it up. Pour it over some maraschino cherries.
Do you ever think about killing animals?
You know I have.
Correct answer. You win the quiz. End of the film. Credits roll.
Wow! Why did they say credits roll at the end of that clip when the credits were rolling? That's crazy.
It's for their...
Is their Ferris Bueller moment?
It's for
They break the
it's
wall.
for their blind viewers, the people that were actually blind watching the TV.
They left it in for everyone, just in case. That's very progressive. It's very progresso. That film was
I kind
sponsored
of-
by a soup company.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Give me the question, I won't blink.
I guess we kind of went into the what's your best impression, but next question is, can you make a fart noise? And if so,
Not like a good
please,
one, no.
please do it.
I can only do it by farting, and I don't have one right now.
You have like okay, you can only make a real fart noise. You can't make one like Artificially.
My art is based on truth.
Have you ever tried? You can't even go
Yeah. No, like that's what I can do. Like, I guess I did have one in me.
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Wow.
That sounded pretty decent. Oh man.
I had
that's
Thai food for
hilarious.
lunch.
That's so funny. I love those. I love fart noises.
We all love fart noises.
Anyway, okay, next question. If you were to create a podcast, what would it be called? So this should be easy.
Be called Horizontal Awareness, and it would be about the depression of shapes.
Right, okay. I got it. And your first episode would be about the...
Be called Parallel Thinking. To be about squares that are depressed.
Right, about the sad square. What was it called again?
I don't remember either. I think that's become abundantly clear that neither of us remembers what it's called. And maybe that's why it's so sad.
Yes, it is. We can't even remember its name.
Nope.
All right, last question. What was the last time you were kissed?
Oh, God. Can we skip that one? On the mouth?
Anywhere. But I'd like to
Oh,
say in a
man.
romantic way.
Yeah, like legitimate, like, because that's
Yeah.
the idea.
Like, not by your mom. Or, like, your doctor.
Can I just go ahead and say that honestly, I can't remember a date to give you?
But it's okay, so it's been more than 6 months?
I honestly don't remember.
Oh, wow, it's been that long.
It's a crazy world.
I know, that's touchy. That's... well, let's hope. Hey, people listening to the podcast, go out there and make out with April.
Thank you, all of you. Open invitation.
Yes.
If you listen to this podcast, honestly, you're doing a lot better than a lot of the people I meet in bars.
And if you do go up to April and you say, I listened to the podcast that you were on, and I'm just here to make out with you, I'm sure she will.
I'm contractually obliged.
Now she is. Yes. Okay. That
Not
was...
prostitution if it's not sex.
Nope. Yeah, in fact, most prostitutes aren't kissing.
Exactly, it's the opposite. Me, only kissing and hand-holding.
Are you a big kisser? I mean, when you do find that person that you are into, do you like...
Yeah. I don't know. It's...
Or is it just something that you like? It leads to more.
No. I like it. I do like all of that sappy shit that I make fun of because it makes me feel weak and vulnerable. So I don't look at it in a legitimate way because I'm like, you can't hurt me if I hurt me more.
Right.
That sort of thing. But so I do that. But yes, it's nice. It's the little reassurances. It's the feeling of support / acceptance. All that like dumb fucking shit that we just have to do because we're people and we can't be robots yet. And we're like, I'm sad and an animal and I need comfort. And then it's like, yeah, that's okay though.
It is a weird type of like intimacy or connection that you have with someone that you don't have with a lot of other people in your life.
That's true. That's true.
You might kiss a lot of people. Who knows? I don't.
That's the thing though, is that if you do that, I think it's still probably the same ratio of people who you kiss who like it means something to you when you do it. Where it's like you could, kiss like 50 people, or a weekend or whatever. Or you could be the person who like goes out very seldom, kisses like, 50 people in a year, and probably both of you would still only be kissing like 1 or 2 people where you're like, this actually kind of means something to me.
Yeah. I want that.
To kiss 50 people and have 2 of them mean something to you?
I just want the 2.
You just want
The ones that mean something.
That's real. That's like there's not. No one's gonna tell you how to figure that shit out though, because no one has.
Tell me how to love. All right.
Maybe you should talk to your dad about that.
I know I should. That's for another
Next
podcast.
time.
Yes.
Next time.
All right, guys. Let's shove on out. We've been definitely talking quite a little bit, but April, of course. I will see you very shortly.
Tomorrow,
yes. But definitely thanks for coming by. You're always welcome here.
I
You
was
even have a
dropping
key.
off. I was dropping off Thai food, and I do. I looked after your cat once.
So I will say you're probably the closest person that I have podcast-wise as well as non-podcast-wise.
Oh, that's just say I'm your
Yeah,
friend.
you're a good friend.
Yeah, I'm a mediocre friend, but
Yeah.
like a close mediocre friend.
I do like calling you a friend, even though you probably hate being told that.
No, I love it because it gives me more reign to be mean to you. I can do it more because I'm like, he gets it. He knows we're friends.
All right, so I will also know, since we are friends and co-hosts, don't bother doing anything social media-wise with April. In fact, just
Google me.
Yeah, just Google her, or just go to You're Such a Sex and the City podcast.
Do that.
And listen to all of those episodes. Even if you do not like the show itself, do not worry. There's plenty of other talk. We do not talk about Sex and the City for that much, even though it's called Sex and the City.
Even though it's about Sex in the City.
Yeah.
And that's all we talk about.
Maybe.
We spend a lot of time not talking about
Definitely.
it.
But we also talk about it, so...
But we also talk about Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, Ted Kaczynski, and we also have just also weird, just random musings about 9/11, abortion.
Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
is a recurring guest on the podcast.
And Sylvester Stallone, he's
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he's
Sometimes his brother, Sylvester Stallone,
They're
comes
both
by
there.
too. Yeah. Twins!
Sylvester
Wow.
doesn't have a speech impediment. He's actually like, hey guys, what's going on?
Exactly, but Sylvester
Yeah,
on the other
he's
side.
the one that's like, hey, hey guys, what's
You're
going
not on this podcast, Sylvester. Get out of here. Get out. Come on, get out. I'm sorry, I'm chasing Sylvester Stallone out of your apartment.
You gotta go see Expendables
I told you to leave. I'm making myself large by opening my jacket. I'm making it large. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to chase Sylvester Stallone out of your apartment. He was trying
right,
to be a
thanks.
podcast guest again.
Anyway, guys, if you want to hear more of them, go to that podcast. But also follow this at This Comics Live or the D Stories, or yeah, just do that. Anyway, guys, follow the show, rate and subscribe. And you've been listening to, of course...